Tonight, we're getting rid of the snakes. Dennis is cheating again. Nene's back. Let's do this.
I'm Maria Menounos, and you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Hey! It's Sunday Fun Day.
Yes. Sunday Fun Day.
And the full crew is here. I hope we have
crew.
a wide shot, but I hope we don't look wide. So bring it back to me.
OMG.
Welcome to AfterBuzz's Real Housewives of Atlanta After Show. I'm your host, Hollywood Lian, and I'm joined by my partner in crime, OK Drew J.
Hey, y'all.
Dani is back. I'm so excited to see you, Boo. It's been a minute.
It's been a minute.
And my girl, the party people are here, Erika Edwards.
What's up, party people?
The full crew is back. It's a new year, new us.
Yes.
It's our second show of the year, but it's episode 11. We're talking about getting rid of the snakes. You know, except the ones that we want around, because we got to have a couple snakes here and there for other purposes. Just bringing in the spirit of the room, y'all. It's been a fun Sunday, but we have a lot to talk about. We're going to talk about Dennis and Porsha's relationship. We're going to dive into the Carnival, but we're also going to be talking heavily about this party where this incident happened. To me, it was like the Pajama Party Part 2. The devil's in the room, Nene's the orchestrator, and there's a lot to unpack here. Overall thoughts on the episode. Let's start with Drew.
I love episodes like this where it's drama and you don't know if someone's going to get a black eye or a restraining order or get arrested, so I was here for it.
Yes.
It was a
Dani.
great episode. I wish someone would have connected, though.
One connect.
Like, one connect, and I would have been good.
Yeah, I enjoyed this episode. It's always nice when they call security. So you can't
Plenty of
beat
finger
it.
pointing, plenty of name calling, lots of. I wrote some down because bald-headed scallywag is one that I'm gonna have to use myself.
Yes. I just want to shout out the producers for getting on camera again because what's up? Like, you're looking good.
Yeah,
Right.
they're like
Listen,
some tall drinks of water out
Exactly. Call into the show, you guys. We like producers too.
I'm a producer. Let's produce together.
Absolutely.
A try.
I love it.
Absolutely.
there. So we can reproduce. I'm just kidding. Call your friends. We can be friends. We can do this every weekend. All right. So Dennis is here to get his wife back, even though he's on Instagram with 4 other side pieces. So make sure to stick to our news and gossip section at the end of the show. We're going to be doing tweets by Drew as well. This is crazy. He gave her a huge ring. She's re-engaged. There's a public display of affection here. Are we buying it? At the time, it seemed like everyone was all about it because love is love and we love love. But we know the truth now, so we're a little biased, unfortunately. We know that Dennis was caught with 4 other women. Sorry, I'm getting ahead. I know it's part of our news, but we all know about it, so we have to put it part of the conversation.
Yeah.
Are we buying this re-engagement?
This is what I didn't like, and I think I said it last week too when they were in therapy. I don't like that he is setting the tone for how fast they're working through this. And I feel like him popping up and proposing again, Porsha's not really the type to make a big scene in that sense where she would be like, no, I'm not doing this, because she doesn't want people to like be able to throw that back at her. So I feel like even though she's quote unquote happy, I don't think she was necessarily ready to put the ring back on.
Yeah, I don't think him showing up and proposing again was enough for you to forgive and keep going with that. Like, you have to show something, you know? And he just popped up and gave her the ring. I mean, the rock is huge, sis. I would
so big.
let him slide it on, but okay. It's just too much.
Okay, I mean, I think the distinction is, are we buying it? Am I buying it? No. Did Candy buy it? No. Did Porsha buy it? Absolutely. And because, I mean, even, I think we discussed this a few weeks ago, but like, even in therapy, remember, I was like, why is he riding in the car with her? He ain't done nothing. He's never taken accountability. Even when they were in therapy, he's like, oh, well, I was going through this, da-da-da-da. And then even now, he's not like, I cheated and she knows for a fact that you did. He's like, oh, I was selfish. Yeah, Cynthia made a good point. Being selfish is one thing and cheating is something different. And he didn't get in front of everybody and say, I was wrong to cheat on you. He didn't do that. So he's still not taking accountability, I don't think. And I think that everyone is supporting Porsha. Because she's the really only person who has to believe it. And sadly, I think she is.
And then he left her. Surprise, surprise.
Right.
So it's like he came and got the goods, secured the deal, and then bounced out. Which leads me to my next question that Erika brought up. Cheating and being selfish. That's 2 different things. We've, established that on the show. by Cynthia. Thank you very much. But there is no accountability. There is no usage of the word cheating. If we're going to shame the dog, we need to shame him all the way to the doghouse. So I feel like even though he has had some public scrutiny, he didn't fess up. He didn't own up to the fact. He didn't say in front of all your friends and loved one, I messed up. I cheated. Instead, he said, I was selfish. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's a very man thing to do, but I don't know.
I feel like
Candy didn't buy it.
I feel like it's, I feel like the phrasing of it is a big deal because it's, there are certain consequences that are attached to certain words, right? So, like, when you're catcalling and you won't leave a woman alone, you keep sexually, like, saying stuff to her, and people are like, oh, he's just catcalling, oh, whatever. Like, no, that's sexual harassment.
Yeah.
And, like, it should be treated as sexual harassment. I feel like catcalling is a cuter word for it, and I feel like in this sense, like, being selfish is a cuter word for cheating on my pregnant wife, and so therefore the consequences aren't being held as heavily because we're using cuter words for it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, it was interesting because Kenya's finally minding her own. She was like, as long as she's happy, she's happy. I'm like, oh, finally, because all we've been saying this whole time is focus on your own stuff, girl. He the one that points like that there's a fart in the room is probably the one that farted.
I agree. Although I do feel like that's everybody's pretty much situation with Porsha right now. Because I think everybody already knows Porsha is going to, like, kill the messenger. So everybody's kind of like, girl, if you like it, we love it. But nobody's buying it, I don't think. I don't think anybody's buying it except for, Nene trying to be nice. But I think everybody's like, girl, he's a cheater. But if she's happy, we're going to be happy for her and show support. And that's what I think everybody should be doing, really.
I think Kenya just knows how her man is making her look on camera.
Yeah.
So she's like, okay, he's making me look crazy every time the cameras turn on, so I'm not going to say anything, which is smart.
Finally.
Because
Well, Dennis leaves, like I said, surprise, surprise, and we're moving on to the next thing where everyone goes back to the hotel and everyone wants to talk about this. And this is what we've been waiting for. This is what we've been teased with forever. Bravo has been playing with this, playing with our emotions. I talked about this before. That pajama party that we had years ago, if we were on a Bravo show, this is where we would montage back. I feel like the devil was in the room to bring up like Phaedra's spirituality in here. It was not a good situation. It was really high energy. Everybody wanted to fight. And I felt like Nene paraded in there like she knew exactly what she was going to do. I saw that again tonight when she walked in with her freaking boob out. Nipple cover or not, you walked in with your titties out, girl.
I was distracted because they were sitting pretty, and I was like,
how you do that with no bra?
How you do that, sis?
How?
It's called a little lip.
I know,
It's called
exactly.
lips.
It's
Yeah,
called
exactly.
Some points so
Right.
I can do it.
Give me a Greg.
Right.
Let's go. But no, I agree.
All
with
bad
you.
timing too, because I feel like everyone kept walking in when we were trying to get down to the dirt of it, which is once again like playing with my emotions. It was like the energy in that room. I don't want to keep referring to the devil, but I really feel like it was just not a good situation. I'm sorry. It is Sunday.
American Horror Story.
Yeah, Atlanta style. It's
Exactly.
it's the day of the Sabbath, so I'm gonna speak on it, y'all.
Saging this podcast.
Speaking on it.
Yes.
So, I just feel like it's the same old story, but Kenya wanted to lie. She was like, let's just tell her that we know the truth and let's expose her. Because, Kenya's used to that. Porsha's that dives in and then Marlo just stops it. Well, I want to be around the truth. That is not true. I was dying. Comedy-wise, the episode was hilarious.
Yes, it was
I was
very funny.
dying.
It was.
I'm like, Marlo just wants to be around the truth. And then Nene walks in. Frou-frou, Snakegate, it all goes to hell. I don't really even have notes because I was completely just stuck to the TV, watching it like glue, watching it all go down. Let's dissect it inch by inch, though. Who was the first one to fight? Cynthia and Marlo. Let's talk about that. We'll move on to Yovanne and Porsha. And
Okay,
then
wait,
Porsha
I'm sorry.
and Nene.
Before we go into the fighting, I'm confused with the audio versus the recording.
There
Which
is
totally,
nothing.
I was like, wait a minute, okay. I was like, oh, wait a minute. Now, there's a difference between there's an audio, which is different than a recording. And I was like,
was done
oh
with
my
that.
gosh.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, my head is spinning right now, Nene. So wait, because I was like, wait, what?
Then she said video and she did it in the hallway. Then she was like, I don't care about the video. And then the next day, it was something else.
But
What
so
was it in the hotel?
So
hotel
I didn't
room.
right, and I didn't understand because if it's audio, which sounds like the
Bravo
whole
would have played it.
Bravo, Mike, or whatever situation, which is fine. Maybe Bravo would. I don't know what Bravo be doing, but what I don't understand is how did Yovanna get the is she sleeping with a producer? How did she get the audio
She
from the Bravo
recorded her
people?
at the meeting. Cynthia said, I remember having a conversation with Giovanna, and then Bravo showed the clip of the phone next to them hanging out.
I don't think Nene's actually heard whatever it is. So I think that's why she kept. I'm not defending Nene because
I totally agree
I
with
think
you.
Don't spread things if you don't know.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't think she heard it, but she did make this big distinction between. Because then they went back to the butt dialing with Phaedra and the voicemail.
Yeah,
and I was just
exactly.
like, oh my God, now I'm totally confused.
I think she's saying audio because she doesn't know in what form this recording is in. She doesn't know if it's just a voice recording. She doesn't know if it's a video. She don't know what the hell it is.
Exactly. I agree with you, but it was just weird the way all of a sudden now.
Or maybe it's all made up.
I think there is something there, but my question, I honestly feel like Bravo does have it because I'm like, okay, so why did they slip the tape to Yovanna? But okay, whatever. We're getting past
Cynthia
that.
should have clarified when I had that conversation with Giovanna, like we weren't mic'd or something. You know what I mean?
Right, exactly.
Like we just don't know enough about the situation. We haven't heard anything. That's why I'm completely over it.
Right.
And I'm like over Nene with the whole recording as well because she's called it 4 different things. First it was a recording, then it was an audio, then she alluded to a voicemail phone thing, and then the next day in the hotel room she called it something else. What was it?
I don't remember, but I think the reason she's doing that is because Nene's very particular about, well, you know, I actually didn't say that.
I didn't lie because I didn't
yeah.
say that.
I didn't lie, exactly. She said, I didn't say it was recording, I said it was audio, but because she's covering her ass. She's
Exactly,
not-
because she's like, I told Candy several times, like, girl, we watched you tell Candy. It's
Yeah.
like, somebody
Right.
recorded. Like, stop it.
But
So, yeah.
you know what I've noticed? That she slipped at the end and then she brought it. I figured out it's just a full circle moment, you guys. It's all the same story with Nene. It's tit for tat. It's tit for tat, and that's why I'm over it. She's doing it because she's mad at she's
Cynthia
doing
about
it
that
because she's
Kenya
mad
Mike.
at Cynthia
Yeah.
for bringing Kenya unannounced.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm not going to give her that because she didn't give it to me. So
Yeah.
once again, it's tit for tat. I want to go back, though, and start from the beginning. We need to break down the Marlo and Cynthia fight because there's a lot to break down there. They've always had a rocky relationship. And then I feel like now it exploded. But Nene said something very, very interesting that was on the show that we need to talk about as well. She said, that is the real Cynthia I know. That one that cussed out Marlo tonight, that fight, that's the Cynthia that I know and that y'all are seeing for the first time. So over here as the viewers, we're like, oh my God, Cynthia got really mad. I don't think I've ever seen Cynthia like that. But Nene's been saying, y'all just don't know. So let's talk about this fight. And do we think Nene is even in the right kind of gray area with this, or do we think she's full of it?
I mean, I'm sure that this is a Cynthia. We saw a glimpse of a Cynthia that we haven't seen before, and that's in some way, shape, or form true to her character because everyone has that breaking point.
Yeah.
And I'm sure Nene's seen it because Nene's pushed her to that limit. I was more concerned with the argument of Marlo and Cynthia because it felt like to me there's a lot of repressed feelings there because there's some things said that clearly like this isn't some fresh like beef that we're having. There's some insults there that were pulled from deep within.
Bald-headed scallywag.
Cynthia is still mad about the mic thing. It was shady, you know, but like, girl, you were on camera saying like, I'm gonna act like I didn't know Kenya was coming. So she's still mad about that. She still doesn't want to be called out about that. But Marlo was being shady. But Cynthia really thinks that she like cussed her out bad. And it didn't seem like that to me. Like you didn't read her for filth, like drag her.
Yeah.
No, they were both just arguing pretty intensely, but it didn't seem like it was that kind of like,
Yeah, she was
"Oh,
like,
I'm
I
gonna
lit her
drag you."
ass up.
No, I felt like they
Where?
were going to fight. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It got
Yeah.
really intense. And Marlo was like, I don't know who you're talking to.
Right, yeah.
You know what I mean? But I feel like Marlo does this every time. She always messes everything up by going off the deep end. Even Nene said it. She's like, you got us over here fighting for nothing. But I always think it's part of the plan. Nene and Marlo are two peas in a pod. This is calculated somehow. This is just not good on every angle.
So, all right, so a couple things. One, I do feel like we are seeing a different side of Cynthia. I do feel like Nene has seen that and has alleged this before, you know, earlier. But I think part of it is ever since Cynthia and Nene have had this particular blowout. Cynthia has been acting different. She has been acting a little bit brand new. So I think this is the first time we've really ever been seeing it. But I think this past year or so, she has.
Since the Kenya incident.
Yeah, I mean, but even before that, I mean, I think all of the interviews, all of it, she kind of, I think since the last reunion, once she's finally bucking up to Nene, I think now she is getting a little bit, she's smelling herself. She's getting a little bit more swag that she didn't have before. And she is gonna kind of go for people.
Yeah.
So I think what was interesting, though, was this whole season we've been seeing the good Marlo. And this was like, oh, yeah, this is the gutter Marlo coming back. Because this is the Marlo we all, I mean, honestly, I love. I know and love. Yes. So, like, yeah, I was like, okay, so, because Marlo's always like, okay, you know, she's been trying to be nice, and I'm the auntie, and na. But now she's like, okay, look, now you done crossed me. We done had some drinks. It's on. So it was interesting to kind of see both sides of them tonight.
I think Cynthia's trying to make sure that no one can ever call her weak again. Yeah. Because Nene has done it so many times. She's like, I'm going to show you better than I can tell you. Exactly.
Yeah.
For seasons, she's been like, get a backbone. Mm-hmm. You're weak. You're Nene's puppet. And now she's like, I am so over this. I think you're right. She's like, you will never say this about me again.
Right.
But I think that, I mean, Nene has a point. Like, this isn't necessarily the image that Cynthia has portrayed over all these seasons, but I don't think it's a bad thing. Like, this is
everyone portrays something online.
Exactly. Yeah. I think the whole time, you know, Cynthia's been like, oh, I'm so sweet. I'm the model. I'm this, I'm that. And so it's like, okay, girl, so you can read like everybody else. It's not really that deep. It's not like she's some horrible, evil person now.
But there is a friendship there, and there is history, and some of the girls did say it, like, it's 10 years. It's really a big deal, you guys, and it's heartbreaking. If we montage all the good moments, this would be really hurtful right now. So I do feel like Cynthia crying in the hallway, and Nene couldn't even say Yovanna just to end it, really pissed me off. And it was like a complete taking it out and peeing on me. It's just to like disrespect me at the end. Like, after you've dumped my body, you're gonna pee on me?
Okay, she did not pee on her. However, I will say this. The same way you said Cynthia won't own up to it, fundamentally, Cynthia got played by Bravo, by the producers, all that stuff last season, looking like a big fat liar, and this is Nene's payback. Let the girl enjoy her payback. I'm sorry. She's like, yeah, you was mic'd up, and I heard you dogging me. Now I'm going to really get you all scared. I'm going to make up. I'm not saying that maybe somebody was recording or not recording or whatever, but this is very much like the whole thing. Oh, I'm going to, all the mics from last season. It's the same story. But she's just flipping it. So, I mean, in honesty, Nene never got past that, because really that whole thing at the end of the last season was a big deal, because Cynthia looked like she stone cold lied, and then she got caught on tape by Bravo.
She did get caught.
So, you know what I'm saying? She looked so crazy, and Nene's not over it. You know what I'm saying? And this is her payback. And, I mean, I don't know. Let her get a little payback.
But her jumping up and Porsha jumping up was enough for her to be like, Porsha loves me. So now she's automatically good with Porsha.
Okay, which brings me to my next point. But okay.
It's always about Nene. It's always like on her time. Even the next day when she went to Tanya's hotel room and she was all over Tanya, Tanya was looking at her like, are you bipolar? Like, I don't know if I'm coming or going with you. Now we're good and you're so happy and you're grabbing my face. I don't get it. It's just always about her.
Well, that's true.
And I'm over that.
True.
I'm over that.
I'm over that.
There's 6 other people in the cast. I don't know. I feel like blow up booty. What do we think about blow up booty? Yovanne coming after Porsha and her man was a cheap blow in my opinion, because it was like too easy.
My problem with Yovanne is that, one, that was too easy, and two, you need to stop acting. And Porsha had me dead when she was like, I'm not your friend. Like, I don't know you, but like Yovanne really comes in there and acts like she has the depth and the history with these people that they already have with each other. So for you to be talking with your whole chest like that, like, you have to have actual facts backed up behind you, and I just feel like she didn't.
That's why Porsha was so mad.
I felt like that was just a cheap shot. You looked lame. I know you got that wig on layaway, so it's like, why are you here? Who invited you?
See, I felt like she threw out the Dennis comment to distract from, because that was the whole point, where everybody was like, you are the liar, you are the snake, and then all of a sudden she started talking about Dennis. So to me, I felt like, okay, she's just throwing it to kind of cause a distraction, because, I mean, not to get back to the whole, because I still don't fully understand the audio audio versus the video versus the whatever.
None of us
but
do.
clearly, Nene said it was Jovanna to the cameras, to us, right? And so to me, but for some reason, Jovanna still is steadily denying it. So that's the part I'm like, wait, what? Did she tell you? Did she not tell you? So I feel like she's new. Ever since she's been on the show, she's been thirsty. She just wants airtime. And she did a lot of kind of maneuvering and throwing random things out here, I think, to distract from the fact that whether she got it from somebody or she taped it with her own phone, she's the person.
But when the heat was too hot, though, she left the room and Nene had to go back and get her.
Yeah.
Right.
And she was like, it's like 7 against 1. And Nene's like, I'm trying to back you up, man. I'm like,
No, you're not.
You didn't even sound convincing when you said that.
And when she was in the hallway with Nene, she didn't say, no, I didn't say it. She said, I've said all that I want to say. Okay, you just told on yourself. You've said all that you want to say because all of these people are coming
They're
after
in
you.
cahoots.
Yeah.
Nene
Exactly.
and Yovanna are in
Yes,
cahoots.
they are in
This is all
cahoots.
to make, like Kenya said, make Cynthia look bad. But it's also what Erika said. It's to get back at Cynthia for last year's recording.
Yeah.
But Yovanna doesn't even like blend into the show. Her friendship or whatever in the group doesn't make any sense because there's no one in the group that I'm like, that's a real connection.
Oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry. You forgot. She's that bitch.
Yeah.
And she went to school with Eva. That's how we first met this hoe.
But it's
Okay,
like,
drunk.
it's so, her presence is so forced and it's like she wants a peach so bad, but it's like she doesn't even get the twig from the peach tree. Like she's just trying too hard and it just feels very forced, and it's not that interesting to watch because I'm like, no one here likes you.
Okay,
Yeah.
see, I feel like Nene needs more people to tape with, and that's why she's here.
Yeah, and
Because
she's also
because
you know,
because that's really the only reason why she's here.
we
I
could have
think.
gotten rid of Yovanna, and that body could have been Shamari. I'm telling you, the whole show would have been much different. It would have
So
been
much
more
better.
fun.
Oh my
she would have been
gosh.
drunk, and she would have been making us laugh, as opposed to all we're looking at this going, "Oh my God,
Yes.
the devil's in the room."
We would have still gotten this drama, but it would have been 90 times
Much-
funnier
yeah.
because
Yes.
Shamari's so damn little and drunk all the time.
What? Would've been so good.
Whatever. If it was Phaedra, it would have been amazing. And I'm always team Phaedra all day, every day.
Well, Phaedra can come back too, but you know what? If we're gonna bring back
Randoms, then it might as well be Shamari.
It might as well be Shamari.
It'd
We
be
love her
Shamari back.
already. We
Exactly.
know about her. We're
Exactly.
dying to hear more about that open marriage.
Right.
We're dying to
Exactly.
expose that marriage that
Why
they're
did they
just
take
so.
her away? It's fine.
I know, like,
Andy, get it together.
You
Give
know,
me
when they're
Shamari.
trying to push a certain image and stuff, and then just them doing the press tour, like her and Ronnie on random TV shows singing together.
Everything.
It was so bad.
Oh my God. And her outfits that are still from the 90s, and she has a stylist.
telling
I mean, there
you.
were so many things
Content for
that
days.
was so much fun. I mean, I was not a huge fan of hers, but I do miss her.
I love
do miss her.
Well, we're going into Carnival. The outfits are amazing, and we literally saw 20 minutes of no speaking and just the girls dancing. So now we're gonna dance for 30 seconds for you. I'm just kidding.
I was like,
30 seconds
Give me
straight.
one.
We're just gonna dance because that's what we saw on the show tonight. It was literally no one talking, and they
Right.
were all just dancing.
Yes.
Sponsored by Hennessy.
Yes.
Hennessy, if you're listening, send us a bottle so we can get
know.
lit up in here.
With my family.
Let's get into the art gallery because we do have news and gossip and tweets to get into, and it's hot tonight. So
Yes,
if you're still
it's
with us,
getting
thank you.
hot in
Make sure to
here.
subscribe to 2 or more of our channels. Leave a comment below. Let us know that you subscribed, and we'll shout you out on the show.
Yes.
And make sure to keep watching and supporting us. Keep it going all the way to Bravo, bitch, on Wednesdays. Okay. Let's talk about this art gallery. Once again, it was layers. Like we're talking about something. Marlo comes in with the apologies, and then Porsha comes in with the doot 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 doot. Totally.
Yeah.
What is this? You're interrupting a vibe. Does no one have producers or PAs going? Look, no, they're right in the middle of something. They're not walking right now. Marlo and Cynthia are apologizing. Do not walk in singing.
right.
So it was really crazy to see. Let's talk about this. Do we believe Marlo right off the bat with the apologies? I don't.
No. It was like her sidekick left, and so she was like, oh, let me apologize because that's one of my main friends here.
I believed it because I feel like a couple things. One, I do feel like they genuinely have something. I think Marlo has always been really super tight with Nene, but I don't really feel like I don't feel like she and Cynthia totally hated each other, and I think Marlo really is genuinely trying to turn over a new leaf this season. And I think she's getting back to that.
I think Marlo thinks that her and Cynthia are deeper friends than they are. And so I think Marlo thinks she could talk to Cynthia a certain way and they just bounce back and be cool. But now that we got 50 Cent and she got a man and she got the ring and she don't care, she's like, no, this is not a thing.
Well, all of that, plus I feel like when everything went down and then mics were put away and everyone was sleeping, I feel like Nene told Marlo, look, you took away from what I was trying to do last night. So you need to somehow like fix that, because I was trying to talk to Cynthia and you had your own quarrel with her and now it's like a bigger volcano mess. So I feel like Marlo got checked, so that's why she came in and apologized to Cynthia, because the way they were going at each other for just not even like a full 24 hours, it was like 6 hours and then they're back during the day together. That was not enough time to decompress, calling people out of their name and everything. Like that was probably more intense than all the other fights until we had Nene and Kenya get up and stuff. And even then it didn't really feel that crazy until Nene was really being held down. But then when she came out, I feel like Kenya did run away, because if I was in the elevator, I would have been provoking her. I would have been like, shut up, Nene. Shut up. Yeah, you better walk away. I would have been egging her on. I would have been like, you look so dumb. Look at you being held down by everybody. Bye, girl. Like, I would have been playing with her.
Remind me not to go out with you, because you don't
Don't start none, won't be none. So I do feel like Kenya was a little scared and stuff. So
she walked out with Eva at one point. I was like, you spooky.
She did not want Lenita.
You hide behind a pregnant girl.
I was just going to say that.
You spooky bitch.
Spooky, bald-headed scallywag. Let's get into news and gossip.
AfterBuzz TV News.
Well, I will go first. Basically, obviously tonight in the episode, Marlo brought up that Kenya wears a wig, which has been a topic of conversation over the years because she got bundles and she swears it's hers and people have been fighting over it. So Kenya, in true Kenya fashion, posted this video that someone so kindly tweeted. As you can see, she has her stylist going through.
Yes.
Okay, we get it. You have
natural hair, but you still wear wigs.
Yes.
How does that work? How could you have all that hair and then wear a wig on top of it?
Braids.
All you do is
Black
braid it
women
back.
wear
And she could also wear clip-ins, because that hair looks thinner than her hair does on the show anyway. So she definitely has
But she
clip-ins
likes to trick people and make people think that it's always her hair. Girl, you wear wigs. It's
I
not
know
that big
she
of a
wears
deal.
clip-ins at least.
Or at least
Exactly.
like a U-part wig. Like there's so many types. Sis, we can talk wigs all day. I already
Leave
know.
out all of that.
Listen, but like, and it's fine. It's fine. Like,
That's
who
what I don't
cares?
get. Like, you know how you can't bullshit a bullshitter? This is what pisses me off. I'm like, Kenya, your entire demographic is black women. Like, they're not going to know.
We know.
But I feel like...
Even Marlo said it at the table. She was like, girl, I have a wig on. Look. How do you not know that you don't have a wig? We know you have a wig on.
I think black women are constantly messed with our ability to grow hair because there's some rumor that we can't grow hair. And so I feel like Kenya having this long hair that she can kind of like, oh, look at me, I'm not regular, blah, blah, blah. Like, I think it's something she can...
Like a one-up.
Glow about.
Like, my hair is real all the way.
I think that's very 80s. Like,
Yeah.
that was a thing back in the day.
Yeah.
But now, I don't feel like it's as that deep. And I don't feel like... And now, because wigs are so commonplace and so standard now...
People love wigs,
I
though.
feel like it's so extra.
I mean, I think so, but I also think, like, as brown-skinned, dark-skinned women, I think they still have to deal with a lot of it more so than light-skinned black women do, where people are questioning their hair being able to grow or something like that. So I do get where she's coming from, but I'm like, enough. Who cares? Like,
I just don't like the lying. Like, don't front with me. Like, we know, you know what I mean?
This
like,
is
people,
all me.
I know that there's clip-ins in there at least. Like, your hair is not that thick, girl.
Yeah.
Right.
You are not a lion. You know what I mean? You don't have that horse name.
And more importantly, I mean, realistically, like, we saw a video of her with her stylist, but to be honest, if every time she was on this show, she was straightening and curling her hair like that, her hair would have broken off a long time ago.
Exactly.
So fundamentally, that doesn't even really make sense considering the health of your hair, because you're not Caucasian, so your hair is a different texture. It takes a lot to maintain it, and her hair was beautiful. Like, what difference does it make? But yeah, when you're taping, half the time you're wearing a wig. Like, Get over yourself.
And that's okay, baby girl.
All right, Dani, go with the news and gossip because this is hot, y'all.
So Radar Online has some tea about Dennis. At the top of the year, Dennis pulled up at a restaurant with 4 girls, and he was the only guy. And apparently, someone sitting nearby said that the girl in the black right there had her head all over his shoulders.
Snuggling.
And she heard one of the girls telling the other ones that she met Dennis after he slid in her DMs. And they all left together in a black Escalade with the driver.
See, Instagram is shady.
Right.
Instagram is shady than DMs. I'm so glad my man don't have Instagram.
Dennis?
Yes, although I will say this, Dennis, my understanding is since this happened, Dennis has responded with, I think on Instagram, that just a comment that says, "Can't I eat?"
Oh, stop.
What you
At
eating,
4
Dennis?
a.m. with
4
4
a.m.
women.
What you eating at 4 a.m., Dennis?
Exactly, exactly.
Alexa, play 4 a.m. by Melanie Fiona because we're
So,
tired.
Do you guys know what I like to do after partying and then getting down? I like to eat.
Yes.
Yep.
So, girl,
Yes.
don't even.
You know what burns a
don't
lot of
even.
calories at 4 a.m.?
Right.
Okay. You ain't slick, Dennis.
All
We
right.
have one more news and gossip.
All right, so Nene versus Love B. Scott.
Oh, Lord.
Okay, so here, if you guys remember the last episode, there's this big commotion about Nene's letter to Cynthia and how it got into Love B. Scott's
I don't
actual
talk to
blog.
bloggers.
Right, so Nene went to this whole thing. I don't talk to bloggers. I don't know. I may be leaks, but I don't be leaking. Now, here's the thing. 2 things. One is B. Scott is a very, very, very actually successful YouTuber, blogger, very hot,
Respected.
and very well respected to not lie, okay? So when she says stuff, she brings receipts. So she came back and says, well, first of all, they're friends. Nene introduced B. Scott to Cynthia. Actually, they hung out with Kenya in Miami, and he's been knowing her for like 10 years. He's her friend, okay? Not only that, she has actually appeared on other YouTubers and bloggers. She talks to blogs, so
Yeah.
that was just a lie.
Lying.
And more importantly, what's really interesting is B. Scott said, basically, after showing all those receipts, I don't know why she's trying to act all extra and brand new, but I am holding some tea on her right now because I'm her friend. So, and she's not revealed it yet. So that we'll see. But he's basically
And he said that Nene's team gave me Kenya's letter.
Yes, exactly. They gave her the letter, and more importantly, she's like, do you really want the smoke? And so let's see what Nene comes up with.
She don't want the smoke.
She don't want it
She
because
do
I
not
know
want
B.
the
Scott
smoke.
has something
Ra-ta-ta-ta.
deeper. Right, you know what I'm saying? Exactly. Between Nene and her son and her son's baby mamas, and
What
I'm
did
sure
Marlo
there's a
say
lot
when she
going
walked
on.
in? She was like, "Pon de rep." What did she say?
Did she say pon de play?
Pon de play. No, I do think that Nene really needs to stop acting like she's above everybody. She's a reality
Yeah.
star. Calm down. Like, I've done just as many TV shows that you have here in Hollywood. So calm down. Don't act like you're better than the bloggers because you talk to the bloggers. Literally, the entire storyline has been your video footage of you talking to a blog calling Cynthia weak.
Right.
Yes.
That is a
Yes.
blogger.
Yes.
You are talking to a blogger.
Yes.
So you are caught up again.
Yes. And
Period.
And what's so crazy is, especially like with the smaller, the YouTubers, the B. Scotts, those people are what make you hot, boo. That's what makes you relevant.
Because we keep talking about you.
Exactly.
Because we keep talking about you.
Exactly. And so for her to act like, oh no, I'm above them, it's like, no, okay, you can pull that Lisa Vanderpump stuff another day.
Exactly. I might be a blogger, but girl, I'm on TV shows too, girl. So calm
Yes.
down.
He not regular.
Yes.
Not even regular
Yes.
cable, boo. The stuff you got to pay for.
HBO sis.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Let's get into tweets before we end this.
Ooh, they gonna cancel us. All right. So, this tweet says, the walk of shame when you get booted from the
So
girls'
sad.
trip.
How good was this?
Bravo's so shady for this little clip of her, like, just walking out by herself.
So shady.
But I live.
And she
live.
totally does look very disappointed. Like she's
Yes.
just
She's
leaving.
hurt. She's
like
hurt.
they done kicked me out. They just used me. I'm literally Nene's door opener.
She
Right.
just did the walk of shame.
Oh my gosh.
She did the
Make sure the
walk.
check's clear, Bill. Okay.
This is from Rated G. They said, baby, the way Porsha just levitated out of her seat, Yovanne, you in danger, girl.
Right.
Porsha don't play.
I don't ever want to get in a fight with Porsha because I feel like there's a lot of There's a lot behind that punch.
She'll chase you down the alley.
Yovanna
clearly.
knew that though.
Yeah.
She knew it was some power
That's
behind
why
that
she
punch.
said all that stuff as she was walking out. And she literally ran out.
Right.
Very true.
Any more tweets?
Yes. So our next one is from Findy Williams. Meanwhile, Tanya's somewhere getting bussed down in her hotel room, staying out of the drama. Yes, child.
I know, but then she gets brought in by Kenya, which kind of made me mad because I saw this on Twitter as well. She loves to go down for the little people, the genuine, nice people. Like, how you come after Tanya? I saw it on Twitter.
Right.
It's just like coming after Kim Fields. Like, unnecessary.
Worry about Mark and how he doesn't like you.
Exactly. And you running from Nene, get in the elevator with Eva so freaking fast. Probably to go get something to eat.
Well, speaking of which,
Eva
Call
be
Me
eating.
Dollar brought up a great point and probably my favorite tweet. Candy's appreciation for food and never letting a meal go to waste no matter what's happening is also my ministry.
Yes.
Yes.
Hashtag
yes, yes, yes,
Hashtag always 10 pounds overweight because of food.
Any restaurant argument that they have, like 10 out of 10 times, you can see Candy somewhere just watching and still eating.
Right.
As soon as she sits, like Eva is like I am no stranger to the game. I recognize it, okay? And when Eva sits down, automatically she knows production's picking up the tab. Even though
She orders everything.
she might even be fighting with you, but she's like, Nene, you want to get the seafood tower?
Right. Yes, the
Can we get the seafood tower?
Yes.
You know, production's like, there's only 2 of you, bitch. Calm down.
Right.
Yes.
You know what the seafood tower
Yes.
is?
And what I like about Eva, she's like, I don't care how much I'm beefing, I'm going to get my to-go plate.
Exactly.
Can I get
And
my
she
box?
gets to
Let's
go.
wrap it up. Let's
Yes.
get it wrapped up. Yes.
So anyway, bitch, wow.
Right.
Anyway.
Can I get the pecan duck to go, please?
Yes,
I'm like, I'm not
yes.
even mad at you about the food. I'm not
Right.
even mad at you. Love Candy for the food. Love me some Candy Factory.
Yes.
Yes.
You guys, it's been so fun. I miss you guys. I love
Yay.
that we're all back together.
It's lit again.
Yes.
Thank you guys so much for supporting us and watching our after show. Make sure to tune in every Sunday. We'll be here breaking it down. All the hottest Bravo Atlanta gossip, diving in, simmering in it, soaking up that juice and giving it to you guys. Just for you. Just for you. I'm Hollywood Lian. These are my girls. Erika, where can we find you? What do you want to promote?
All right, you guys, you can follow me on all of my social media at Erika, Erika, D as in Door Edwards. And if you watch Ray Donovan, you can catch me here Sunday nights right before this show.
You guys can find me on Instagram at @TheDannyB, and you can also find me on the Floribama Shore After Show on Thursdays.
Love that show. Love that show. I'm your girl, Drew Jones. You guys can follow me on all the things at OK Drew J. And if you love black women, messiness, and dating, you can check me out on Sisters on Wednesday nights.
Yes, I'm Hollywood Lee, and make sure to check out my show here at AfterBuzz TV. It's called It's Bravo, Bitch. You should tell your friends if they're watching Bravo, they should be watching It's Bravo, Bitch. I break down all the hottest Bravo shows of the week, all the gossip, and I give it to you guys good. It's me with a rotating panel. This Wednesday, we're going to have Drew on, so make sure to check it out. We're going to be continuing this Real Housewives of Atlanta conversation. I can already tell you now, because following this episode, Twitter's going to go wild. Lots of videos are going to come out, lots of tweets, lots of new evidence and B. Scott stuff. We're going to be breaking it all down on Wednesday. It's Bravo, Bitch. I'm Hollywood Lian. This is the Real Housewives of Atlanta After Show. Bye, AfterBuzzers.
Ciao for now, buzz.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.